Let's read one of my favorite stories for Beach Day. This story almost sounds like a poem. It's written by Charlotte Zolotow, paintings by Wendell Miner. Wendell Miner is one of my favorite illustrators. I love his watercolor paintings. And it is a story about a boy and his mother who live in the mountains, and they are using their imagination to pretend that they are at the seashore. "What is the seashore like?" a little boy asked his mother. He lived in the mountains and had never seen the sea. His mother smiled. "Let's pretend," she said. "It's an early morning at the seashore, and it's hard to tell where the sea stops and the sky begins. They are the same smoky gray until the mist shifts from gray to dark white, from dark white to pale purple, from pale purple to hazy blue, and then suddenly the sun breaks through. It warms the cool sand, it turns the sea green, and the beach is golden gray. You run down to the water's edge, one small dark spot against the brightness of the sand and the sea. You bend over and pick up a stone, washed smooth by the sea. You find tiny brown snail shells and oyster shells, crusty gray outside and smooth pearly pink inside. You pick up a clam shell half open, and inside a live clam closes and snaps the shell. In my hand?" the little boy asks. "In your hand," the mother says. Then you reach down again and pick up a wet white gull feather from the gulls flying overhead. We sit at the edge of the water and build a castle of wet sand until the waves wash up and suck it back to sea. The cold water makes your skin feel like peppermint, and you are tired. You lie down in the hot noonday sun now, and it feels warm as a big soft cat covering you, taking away the chill of the waves. The swish-swashing sound of them lulls you to sleep. I watch while you sleep, and you don't see two little gray sandpipers run past you. But when you wake up, you do see their claw prints like pencil lines in the sand. You rub your eyes, and it seems there's nothing in the world except the sound of the wind and the rising and falling sound of the waves. You stand and look at the ocean. Far, far out, so far it seems like a toy. A little white sailboat skims over the water and disappears. The tide is going out. "I'm hungry," you say. "I am too." So we wade over to the big rock covered with seaweed and moss. We sit there together and eat our sandwiches and drink lemonade from the thermos and watch the small brown sand crabs swaggling at our toes. An airplane flies low in the sky. Its shadow on the sand is like a gigantic bird. And you leap off the rock and chase after it until it's gone. I watch you throw your head back and twirl yourself around and around until you are too dizzy to stand and you fall down on the sand. The wind is getting cooler. Long purple streaks of clouds are forming in the sky. We take each other's hands and walk down the beach toward home. The fishing pier we pass is white as a snowfall, with hundreds of crying seagulls waiting for the fishing boats to come in when the sun sets. The evening air is so still that the life buoy's ding, ding, dong sounds right next to us, and close and clear and loud. We climb to the top of the dune, away from the ocean, but we stop and look down across the seagrass to the sea. The setting sun is a huge orange ball. You're so tired when we get home that you can hardly stay awake through your hot bath and your dinner. We barely have time to kiss goodnight before you fall asleep. Outside, the lighthouse is flashing, golden gleam on, golden gleam gone. But you don't see it. You are sleeping so deeply. You don't hear the tide rising. You don't see the small crescent moon outside your window The ocean is bursting in waves along the shore, covering the rock where we sat and ate our lunch, and carrying up seaweed and shells to the sand. The little boy leaned against his mother and smiled. "I like the seashore a lot," he said, "and now I can always close my eyes and be there, the way I was just now with you." The end. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you have fun for beach day today.